Today we are going to discuss few tips and tricks in Salesforce. This is the first session as part of this sequence. Let's see what we are going to discuss. Here we are going to discuss 3 pointers as part of tips and tricks session. How can you add campaign member status values? How to encode a string to base64 format in Apex? How to get a subject type from the record ID? Okay, let's see. So usually when we say how to add campaign member status values, we may think about we have pick list and we can add easily from the pick list. But here something different. Okay, how you can add a campaign member status values under a campaign member. Okay, for that what we have to do first thing is you have to add campaign member statuses related list under a campaign record. Okay, or campaign page state. And then you have to click on new button. Then you can add any member status here. So where it reflects basically. Here, when you are trying to add campaign members, you have the possibility to select the campaign member status. Okay. Here, if you see member status received, responded, attended like this, right? So like that, you can add your own values with the help of campaign member statuses related list. Okay. Let's see. New. Here, let's go with like this. I added one value. It's a dummy value. Interested member. Now let's see whether we can see the new value or not while adding the campaign member. So I'm adding the campaign member. Next, see interested member. This is how you can add. Now let's talk about next thing. How to encode a string to base64 format in Apex. It's very easy. Simply, you have to use encoding util class and the method base64 encode. So you just need to pass the URL, you just need to pass the string, whatever the string you want to convert it as base64 encoded string. Okay. Here, before you are going to add or pass into base64 encode, you just need to convert into blob value. Then you can encode. Okay. And here you can see the output. Let's see the output. See, this is how it works. Now let's talk about another point. Here, how to get a subject type from the record ID. Sometimes you may need to know about the subject type from the record ID dynamically. How can you do that? Simply, when you have the record ID, this is the record ID, then you can use get as object type. Okay. When you are getting the record ID in the form of string, you can convert into ID type. Otherwise, if you are getting the record ID with the ID type itself, you can get or you can use get as object type directly. So now I have record ID in string format. That is why I'm using ID dot value for converting into ID type. Let's see. So this is the campaign ID. We have to get the subject type as or subject token as campaign. Let's see. Okay. See, it gives you or it returns campaign as the subject type. These are all the pointers we want to discuss here. And now these are all the references I'm going to give under the video description. You can have a look. All the best. Please subscribe to Salesforce Tech.